So I've lived here for 4 years. I rent this house off a private landlord through estate agents. I'm in full-time employment as a police officer, and my landlord hasn't made any repairs in the house since I've been here. Consequently, the house has fallen into a state of disrepair that's meant that we've had to involve environmental health officer to come around and fix everything. So the environmental health officer has taken my landlord to court, and I'm having to sue him civilly to claim back all the money on the stuff that I've lost, so the damage to the clothes and my furniture and things like that. The fact is that we're living in a house that isn't fit for people to live in, but I've got no other option but to live here. I can't move to another place because everything's so expensive that you can't physically afford to move into somewhere nicer, so it's a bit rubbish when you've got a kid in the house. And especially when you've seen how rubbish it is, it's not nice for a little boy to be living in it.
This is Charlie's house. Charlie lives here with her 4-year-old son, and Charlie's a police officer, so she's working, but she's still having to put up with these conditions because the rent's so expensive, and the landlord's not doing anything to fix it all. There's damp. If you look down there, you can see some quite serious mould. And then Charlie can't use the cupboards because they're full of crap. There's just mould and damp. There's mushrooms growing back there and mould and all sorts of stuff down there. So all the food has to be kept out, otherwise it just disintegrates and gets mouldy. And this wallpaper here is anti-mould wallpaper, so it's designed to sort of soak up the moisture. But you know, it's there's only so much it can do really. And then if we go upstairs, so this is Archie's bedroom, and you can see straight away. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous, isn't it? What you can't see on this is that you can't smell the mould, which catches the back of your throat, and there's no way that a 4-year-old should be dealing with this. Causes health problems, causes all sorts of problems. And up here, this is his bed up here, where all the mould is as well. And also, if you look at this, look at the electrics there, that's right by his bed. So you put your finger in there, you get electrocuted. I mean, that's just what is going on. So this landlord's not fixing any of this stuff. And again, everything has to be kept in boxes, otherwise it just gets destroyed by the damp. You can't hang stuff up, you can't put stuff in wardrobes because it'll get destroyed. And Charlie's had to replace mattress after mattress because the mattresses just get totaled by the damp. So we're coming into Charlie's bathroom now. Again, all the stuff's in boxes because of the mould and the damp. Everything has to be packed up, otherwise it gets ruined. And this is the bathroom in here. You can see the problems where the mould is, can't you? Just around the side of the bath, all up the window, and you can smell it again. It just catches the back of your throat, this sort of the spores and the stink from this, really. So yeah, that's not acceptable. As the place is just riddled with damp and mould. Look, it's everywhere. It's all down the walls. You can't scrub it off because it's just like sort of soaked in, isn't it? And again, it's in the bathroom here in the loo as well. All the sort of the bits that's obviously coming through the floor, you know. And so what happened? Charlie went to the landlord and asked him to sort these problems out, and he just served her notice, evicted her for complaining about the state of the house. So that's what happens to people. If you want to get stuff fixed, the landlord sometimes, it's a thing called revenge eviction. The landlord just says, if you don't like it, get out. But the problem is it's not as simple as that, because you need somewhere to live. He won't give her deposit back, so she can't get a new place. That's the problem. So this is Susan's house. Susan lives here with her, I think he's about 14, a 14-year-old son, and she's got a lot of problems with damp and with rising damp and with water just sort of seeping through the walls and dripping into the electrics and stuff like that, so she can't use a lot of the plugs in case they blow and sort of give her and her son electric shocks. She also complained about the problem. She asked the landlord to fix it, and once again he just said, if you don't like it, get out of here, find yourself a new home, which is much easier said than done if he keeps the deposit and it means they haven't got the money to move out. She's taking him to court at the moment, so hopefully she'll get her money back and she'll be able to move out of here. She's got a new place, she just needs to get all her gear out and get, you know, it back into that new place. Down there, can you check that? You can see the mould and how it's, she's trying to wipe it off, you can see, and it's just like, you know, scuffed the mould in. Touch it. And the same here, look at that, all that, look, the paint just comes straight off onto your fingers. So that's all wet. All this is wet. It's all the way along here. What you can't see on the camera, but there's like a tide mark along the wall. See, I don't know if you can see that on the film, but it's just that tide mark all the way along. And it comes into here as well. There's more stuff, but Susan's tried to scrape it all off. It's just this tide mark of the damp, where the water's just either coming in from the, must be seeping in through the foundations of the house. Again, stuff boxed up because you can't put it out anywhere. And the electrics, the sort of the water, all these walls are wet by the sockets. Yeah, this is Susan's bathroom, and if you have a look at the wall, look at that, it's ridiculous, and the whole bloody thing is absolutely soaked and covered in mould. Look at that, right from the top to the bottom. I think she left it for a couple of days, because normally she wipes it all down. She left it for a couple of days, and this is what's happened. So, and see these bits of plywood here? So when she told the landlord about the problems, the landlord's solution was to get these bits of plywood. He hasn't been asked to put them up. And what he's going to do is he's going to nail them over the mould and then paint the bits of plywood. So it just looks, which is what's happened here. So it just looks like that. Okay, so it looks like there's no problem. But of course that's just going to come straight through again, isn't it, in a couple of months, as the wood gets soaked as well. And it's going to be exactly the same problem for whoever lives in here next. But the only thing is they won't know about it until it's too late.